Walking alone from school. This incident happened to me around 1 year ago. My school finals were coming up and I had a lot of preparation to do. However, our school library was only open until 5 p.m. Due to the upcoming exams and a lot of requests from the student council, the school provided us with the facility of studying in the library until 11 p.m. Now my home was not very far from the school, so instead of studying at home, I also used to prefer the library for studying. I walked from my home to the school library at around 6 o'clock in the evening that day. While studying, I lost track of the time and did not realize that it was 10 already. Now normally I don't stay out later than 8 p.m. Almost all the students had already left at around 8, and at 10 there was not a single student in the library other than me. I had a little work left, but I decided to walk home at 10 o'clock and decided to do the rest of the work at home. Now while sitting in the library, I was completely lost in my work, and suddenly I heard someone walking outside of the library very strangely. So I quickly picked up my books and walked outside the library in order to go home. There was a long corridor outside of our library. We had to walk through that corridor and then we would reach our school's main gate. I quickly started walking in the corridor towards the gate when I saw a woman at the other end. As I was approaching her, I started to feel very uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable that I shouted, "Who is there?" As soon as I said those words, she left and I started to feel comfortable once again and came outside the school's main gate. As I was tired and hungry, I was not even able to enjoy my walk back home, which I normally did. I noticed that the street was completely empty that day. Now this was very weird for me because people used to be on that street all night long no matter what. As I was already scared, I only looked down towards my feet and walked quickly home. I did not look up until I saw someone's shadow, but there was no one around me. When I looked up, a woman was walking very strangely and I found her very weird. It seemed that she was disabled and was walking with great difficulty. She was walking very slowly and in some minutes I was very close to her. I was so close to her that I could see that she was wearing very dirty clothes. It also looked like her hands and feet were paralyzed and her hair were totally a mess. I found it so weird that I stopped, but my gut feeling was telling me not to go near that woman again and again. That woman also stopped after some time and turned around. I could not believe what I saw. Her face was full of blood. She came closer to me and said these words, "Where is my daughter?" At that point, my body totally froze. I was so scared that I was not even able to speak. Frightened and fully shivering by that point, I pointed to the opposite direction of my home. I just wanted her to go away. She did not further say a word to me and started walking towards the direction I pointed to. She walked very slowly, but after a while she was so far away in the dark that I was not even able to see her. I started walking back home, but I was frightened to my bones. I could not help myself but think again and again, if that woman appears once again in front of me, what am I gonna do? Thinking all of this, I started to run. After some time, I heard a scream from the same woman. I was able to identify her voice right away because her voice was too thick for a woman. I heard the scream, "She is not there." After that, I don't remember a single thing from that night. It's like a blackout. When I woke up the next day, I found out that my neighbor found me unconscious on the road that took me home. I started crying and explained everything that happened the night before. After hearing the whole story, my neighbor told me about a woman who lived in the same street around 10 years ago. He also told me that she had a 9-year-old daughter and he had met her. Her daughter used to study in the same school as mine. The lady loved her daughter so much. One day when her daughter was playing on the street, an unfortunate incident happened in which she died. The lady could not bear the sadness of her daughter's death and committed suicide by jumping from a bridge nearby. People usually saw the same lady at night searching for her daughter. Nothing has happened to me so far which is this terrifying.